Good day to everybody out there. This is See Thy Wealth, Water Your Health. Drink a glass of water. And today I want to talk about why I left America and everything in it to start over out here in Central America. Well, it's no secret what's going on in America right now. Y'all see it every day on TV. Y'all see it on social media. Y'all see it on all the platforms. It's no secret about what's going on in our beloved country that everyone from outside of the country loves to come to and create a life. One thing about me is I've never been one to run from anything or anybody, never. So when I see things going on in the United States of America, it doesn't scare me and it doesn't deter me. But one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to hustle backwards. I'm not going to sit in the United States and pay $7 for a green coconut when I can come right here and get one off the tree for free. $7 US for one green coconut, that's hustling backwards. Being able to come out here and get 10 plus acres of land and only pay $18 a year in property taxes, when I can go to the United States and get the same damn piece of land and end up paying 10 times, 20 times more than that, that's hustling backwards. Trying to find a job that's only paying you $12, $15 an hour when rent is $1,500 in certain places and $15,000, like it's ridiculous. $3,500 for in New York City. I had a 530 some square foot condo in West Hollywood, Los Angeles. 534 square foot condo. First I was renting it out on Airbnb. Then I rented it out to a long-term tenant. You know how much we charged that long-term tenant for that 530 some square foot condo? $2,200 a month. $2,250. Ridiculous. And this was back in 2016. We are 10 years later. I can only imagine what that rent is. Why would I continue to stay in the United States and pay that kind of? I wasn't paying it, I was having someone pay me, but the mortgage on that property was probably like $1,600 to $1,700. So it was paying for our mortgage, it was debt servicing, and giving us enough money to pay for a little couple things extra. This was after Airbnb. And we doing the Airbnb, we was doing our thing. But then the CCNRs, Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions, or the HOA, Homeowners Association, they try to tweak their bylaws and they stopped doing short-term rentals. So that kind of put a halt in our business. At the end of the day, it didn't work out. So we had to put a long-term tenant in. But part of the reason for leaving America was, it just felt like I was hustling backwards. There's so much red tape. You got taxes on the money that you make. You got taxes on the money that you spend in the grocery store. You got taxes on your car note. You got taxes on your mortgage. You got taxes on everything. It's crazy. And I'm not saying taxes are a bad thing. I'm just saying, what are they doing with the tax money? Because we still seem to be in trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. Meanwhile, the IRS is a separate entity that's not even part of the United States government who's collecting this tax money. The Federal Reserve, they're not a part of the United States government. They are private corporations. But we are sending our money to these private bankers who dwell or who have headquarters in London, Switzerland, France, and all these other countries. But meanwhile, we're here or in North America getting taken advantage of, blaming Donald Trump, blaming the congressman. Well, we can blame presidents, we can blame the governors and the Congress and the House of Representatives because guess what? We give them the power. So we can actually blame them, but we got to blame ourselves too because we're not putting our foot to the fire. They're doing everything that we're allowing them to do. The only reason why they're getting away with what they're doing is because we don't understand the law. And not only do we not understand the law, but we don't know how to implement the law. Should I go into racism? Should I go into systemic racism? Should I go into police brutality? I don't need to go into all of that because I'm not running from none of that. I did get pulled over by the police on June 19th a couple years ago, heading from Miami to New York. And it wasn't the best experience for me. I was ready to pack. I was already packed. Everything was already packed. I was just in the process of getting the hell out of the United States. I just hadn't bought the property yet. I was coming here eventually, but I hadn't got the property that I was looking for. But that was ready to force me to get the hell out even sooner because I, for one, dealt with, I'm gonna call it, what's the word that they call it? Profiling. They saw me. They pulled me over. They got 2 or 3 other in the cop cars. I had no drugs on me. I had all my shit that's in my house in that car right now. All my stuff that's in that house right now, I had in that car with me. My juicer, my blender, my law books, everything, my politic books. I had everything. and they scraped through it all. Couldn't find nothing. So my problem was maybe they'll plant something on me because I had it happen to me when I was in the work release building. Get ready to come home. I had 2 guards, Officer Lopez and Officer Morris. If I see any one of them today, I'm gonna cuss them out. I don't give a damn where I am. Just gonna cuss you out in public. It is what it is. I ain't gonna do no harmful, you know what I'm saying? They try to get me to sit back across that fence by setting me up. So when I got pulled over on Juneteenth, heading to New York from Miami, first thing I thought after I knew I didn't have anything was these 3 white men are going to put something in that car. They got the dog to bark for nothing, because there was nothing in the car that even signified that I had anything there. They're gonna tell me I fit the description. What description? Well, you got a California driver's license. You're going from Miami to, I told them I was going to Baltimore, but you're going from Miami to Baltimore. You fit the description of what? Y'all got the wrong one. I got properties in Georgia. Y'all wanna call my lawyer? I'm getting ready to sell one right now. I'm working on getting a property internationally. Y'all got the wrong one. Y'all 15, 20 years too late. Y'all too late. So leaving America wasn't for me running from anything, because I would have rather been able to do this in South Florida or even Hawaii. I just couldn't afford it the way I wanted to. Solar power, couple cabins, well water, off-grid, fruit trees. I couldn't do this in Hawaii I had to think strategically. So I had to come to a country that was a lot more affordable to me and English speaking, a small plane ride away from LA, direct for 4 hours, 3.5, 4.5 hours, whatever, even if from the East Coast. It's not that long. And we're landlocked. I could drive all the way back up north if I want to. So it kind of played, if I had to go to Thailand, it would have been what it was. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. When you've been in jail before, all that distance, and you're sitting anyway. So being stuck in Thailand in a beautiful place where it's beautiful weather, coconuts are 50 cents to $1 a piece. People living in America, you're hustling backwards, trying to live in the best house. You're paying a mortgage every month. You're paying a light bill every month. You're paying a water bill every month. Water is something that we're made up of. Water is a necessity of the body. How the hell are we going out here and paying $3 a fucking liter for smart water and Whole Foods or whatever department store that we're going to, and it's supposed to be free? They have put price on water, and we go out here and we pay for it. They've put a price on energy from the sun every day, and we have to pay for it in order to get light in our house. You take a $200,000 property, you put 20% down, that's $40,000. Now you have a $160,000 mortgage at 4% interest. And you tell me how much at the end of 30 years, 360 months, you end up paying on top of that $160,000, $200,000 that you're supposed to pay for that property. It's robbery. I don't want to say it's, because I do the same thing. Yes, I extend mortgages to people. I act as a creditor. I act as a lender. I have properties where I create a mortgage. I record them in the first lien position in the county. And I also execute a promissory note to the borrower, who in turn pays me every month. And if they don't pay me, then I take my property back via foreclosure. And I like to deal with non-judicial foreclosure states, because that way I don't have to necessarily go through a judge, and it's a shorter process. That's a conversation for another day, but if you really want to know what's going on with that, you can tap into www.thenotepusher.com, THENOTEPUSHER.com, and you can figure out how we're able to get money from those notes while we live here in Central America, and different strategies you can use to leverage those notes. Because it's not only enough to just get the note. You got to know what you're doing with the note. The note is just as equivalent to that Federal Reserve note in your pocket. Promissory note, Federal Reserve note, look up note in the law dictionary, Black's Law. Anyway, I don't want to go into that because I'm really not here to be schooling y'all on things that I'm not qualified to speak about. This isn't financial advice. This isn't legal advice. This is strictly for entertainment, educational purposes only. If you need legal or financial advice, I suggest you seek a competent counsel and be advised. With that, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. This is See Thy Wealth. For your health, drink a glass of water.